Afternoon, guys. How are you? Back in the kitchen. So, hope you guys had a great day. I'm cooking dinner. Well, kind of dinner. I'm doing something that one of my subscribers wanted me to do, and I think she's going to be really excited about it. So, just to let you know, Chris the Green Beans, this one's for you. Alright guys, what we're going to be making today is poutine. Yes, it's not spelled the same way that it sounds. It's a Canadian dish, and basically what it is gravy fries. Pretty simple, right? There's actually a couple differences. The gravy that's used, it's not like a processed type gravy. And what we do with it is it's actually part chicken and part beef gravy, which is, it's phenomenal. If you guys haven't tried it, you should try it. And the other part of it is that you should use cheese curd. And what cheese curd is, I know it's going to sound disgusting, cheese curd is actually curdled, basically curdled milk. But it is phenomenal. A lot of people have nicknamed it squeaky cheese because when you chew on it, it's like a firm texture, and when you chew on it, it squeaks against your teeth. But since I live in New Jersey, I can't get cheese curd. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the next closest thing, not only to salt content, but also texture, and I guess you could say squeakiness. And that's going to be chunked mozzarella cheese. So let me get you over to the cutting board and I'll show you what we're going to be doing and what we're going to be using. As you can see, I have broth because I'm going to make my own gravy. So that is the way that you make it, would be to have it kind of like rice. You have 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water, but in this case you're going to break it down to thirds. It's going to be 2/3 beef stock, 1/3 chicken stock. So as you can see, let's get this out of the way. I have myself a big bag of steak fries. I'm probably going to use about half this bag, which will be about 1.5 pounds, and then we're going to have our gravy. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get these over to my cooking sheet. So as you can see, since I am taking the easy way out, I have parchment paper down. So let's clean up. I am going to open my bag of steak fries, and I am going to pour out about half a bag. Need a little bit more. Who doesn't like fries? Come on, get out there. Alright, so there we go. We got our fries. I already have my oven preheated to 450. If you're going to use pre-made fries like this, just go by the instructions on the bag. We want to try and get these in one layer because they are still, for the most part, frozen. I'm going to pop them in the oven. We're going to get started on the other stuff that we got to do. And now what we are going to do is we're going to make a roux, which is essentially, I forgot, we're going to be using flour. It's going to be about 1/4 cup of flour and 6 tablespoons of butter. You know, it's my recipe, it's gotta have butter. Actually, authentic, I was just getting ready to say Canadian poutine, but poutine is actually a French-Canadian dish. It started in Quebec. So, I'm going to be using the butter and also the flour. You can also use oil and flour if you prefer. Alright, so we're back. We're going to get our roux started. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put all of our butter in there. Actually, I think I'm just going to use a spatula. So we're going to need the 6 tablespoons and a 1/4 cup of flour. So we want to make sure that this all melts. But we want to make sure that the pan doesn't get too hot in the process because we don't want to burn our flour and butter mixture. Alright, we got our butter melted. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put in our flour, which is a 1/4 cup, and we're going to mix that up. And this is going to form a paste, and what that's going to do is it's going to thicken everything else that all the other liquids that we put in here. We don't want it to get burnt or anything like that, so I have my heat on really low, and we want to get it nice and incorporated. Whee! Whee! Hey, you gotta have fun at everything you do, right guys? And we also want this to get a little bit warm. We don't want it to get hot. So what we're going to do now is, since we already had the pan hot melting the butter, we will now put in all of our stock, which is at room temperature. We're going to turn up the heat to about medium. I'm going to pour all the stock in. Then what we're going to do is we're going to just, you can see how it gets like a gravy-ish color. What we're going to do is, as this heats up, then we can get it incorporated. The flour is going to basically dissolve. It's going to make our gravy. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to use all this mozzarella. So what we're going to do is, while you're watching the gravy, there's nothing exciting about dicing up cheese. So I'll do one to show you what it's like, and then we'll cut to when we get everything put together. How's that sound? I'll show you the size that we're going for. We're going for probably about a 1/2 inch by 1/4 inch. I like bigger chunks of cheese, so I'm probably about 1/2 by 1/2. So I'm going to dice all this up, and then we'll be back once our gravy's ready. Alright, see you in a few minutes, guys. This recipe is really easy. I'm going to take this big bowl, which is a Pyrex bowl, so it's heat safe, and I'm going to, once the, gotta get all that gravy out. Once the fries are done, I'm going to put the fries in that bowl. I'm going to take this gravy, I'm going to put the cheese in the bowl with the french fries. I'm going to pour the gravy over it. I'm going to toss it, and then we'll pour a little bit of extra gravy right on the top, right at the end. Don't forget, guys, while you're making gravy, constantly stir, because you don't want your gravy to burn. And if it gets a little too thick, more than what you want, you can always add a little bit more of either one of your broth. I have it down to about a medium now, because as you can see, I'm to the point now to where it coats the back of the spoon. So I just want this a little bit thicker. There you go. If you look at it, I want it a hair thicker than that though. Alright, let's check our fries, see what we got. They look pretty good. And guys, don't forget, we need to salt and pepper our fries. So, I'm going to take this. I'm going to put this in the frame now. And I saved some of the cheese because I sprinkled that on top. Don't really think you need to. And I really don't know how you sprinkle chunks either. So, what I'm going to do is I am now, and this is the key to using parchment. You can grab the parchment without burning yourself, as long as you don't touch the pan. We're going to pour probably about half. Let me take a few of them out, because I don't know if Courtney wants all that. And that's another reason why I baked them, is because you don't have all that oil in. And I know you're going to say use 6 tablespoons of butter, but that's a lot better than using the butter and the oil. That's why I baked them. It makes it a little bit better. I don't know if I'm saying that because that's the reason, or if I'm just trying to fool myself. So now what we're going to do is, I need a ladle. We're going to take a ladle, and we're going to put gravy in here. Gotta love that. And now, just going to toss it around a little bit. You want to get everything mixed up. You want to try to not break your fries, like I just did. Move that over there, that there. Not going to use that one. Here we go. My go-to tool. We're going to scoop in. We're going to get up our fries. Look at all that cheese. You gotta love cheese. We're going to take this, get all that extra yummy goodness off, and then don't add a lot more, just a little bit more gravy right through the middle. Sprinkle a little bit more cheese on here. There you go, guys. Get that out of the way. There you go. That is how I make poutine. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget, get in the kitchen, keep cooking. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget, this is for Krista Green Beans. And by the way, guys, her husband is Throb Nation. Don't forget to go over and look at his channel if you like cars. Definitely, if you like cars, you got to go check him out. But Krista, this one's for you. Have a nice day.